My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Slay the Smiler Heartbreaker Chronicles. It's Ascension 10 on the silent again. They are the final one to get over the hump of Ascension 10 towards 15. But then they will join their compatriots. I actually kind of want to thick up the deck by dropping 99 and getting 2 random colorless cards here. Yeah. Discovery and Impatience. Oh, that's really good. With the silent having a lot of low-cost attacks, you can get those out of your hand before using Patience in order to draw. You can also use skills to generate your attacks by shivs, so, you know, Blade Dance, Cloak and Dagger, etc. You can also use Poison as your primary way of dealing damage, in which case Impatience is also a really good draw there. And then Discovery just gives me the ability to... Hang on. Oh, that was its old art, right. Discovery just gives you the ability to kind of on the fly decide what your win condition for each individual battle should be. I'm actually a little enthused about the idea of going for a couple more elites this floor than I otherwise might on this character typically. Do I want to take 1 damage here in order to deal 6? Nah. Discovery gets me, Deadly Poison, sure. We want to upgrade that Discovery so that it doesn't exhaust. Yeah, this is really unfortunate. Oh, no, it's not. We have exact Seize for Lethal. Hell yeah. Thought I just wasn't going to be able to defend. I kind of want to take the Dagger Spray just as the first AoE, especially because we intend to go for more elites than we otherwise might. So I'll take it. Can't take the Curse of Doubt. Upgrade 2 cards, sure. Impatience got upgraded. All right. That's looking good. Thinking we'll drop a strike here. Increases the ability to use that Impatience, but also increases the density of defense in my deck. I mean, for an opening turn against the slimes, that's not bad. I've had some really bad turns against slimes. Yes, no, I almost certainly should have gone for... Almost certainly, definitely should have gone for Trillion Cuts. Not Trillion Cuts, sorry, the other card. Take an escape plan there. Ooh, probably shouldn't have taken that here on the first floor, right. The escape plan on the first floor is a little bit of a liability because of the Gremlin Knob. Damn it. Not having the money for that Noxious Fumes is really, really harmful. If I'd only gone for the Elite, I would have had the ability to pick it up. Impatience is going to be an incredibly important card in this. So will Dagger Spray. Discovery depend. Ooh. I can't take Corpse Explosion because I can't actually activate it this turn. So getting 11 free block, that's pretty good. I could also just fully defend this turn. Yeah, I'll do that. It allows me to keep all of my plated armor. Gonna make it a lot easier. Actually, I don't use escape plan until after I've used Impatience here. Great. I mean, wait, hang on. No, what's the opposite of great? That one. Riddle with holes? Alright, I'm gonna backflip. The backflip primarily was looking for just a single attack to hit the sentry, but I figured otherwise, I'll still probably be able to reasonably defend myself here. Which did turn out to be the case. Defend, and then set up the sentry in the back line. For the next turn would be Dagger Spray plus a strike. Discovery gives us... Alright. Sure, I'm happy to Crippling Cloud there. Just reduces a lot of damage over the over the upcoming turns. Okay. Thank you, Impatience. Alright, I'll Dagger Spray before I do the draw, just so I have a higher chance of drawing an attack in the next shuffle. because the next shuffle now includes Dagger Spray, where if I did in the other order, it would not. Okay. Warpaint upon punk up. Upgrade 2 random skills as well as Adrenaline versus Backflip versus Backstab. I want Adrenaline, but I always want Adrenaline. And that might not necessarily be correct. I think Backstab has like a really, really good case to be made for it. Helps us kind of target down an enemy really, really quickly. Who's our boss's floor? Okay. Backstab's actually going to be really important at helping us transform the Guardian early. Bottled Lightning versus Sapphire Key. I want to take the Bottled Lightning so that I can put Discovery in my opening hand, just so that I have the ability to kind of transform my deck on the fly that quickly. But here I'll just go for damage. Oh, that's a good opening turn right there. Love it. Strength potion as well as... I want to take the Deadly Poison. Now, this is me diversifying my win condition. Deadly Poison for my sham friends, real poison for my deadly friends. That kind of thing. I think. That was incorrect. Oops. I could have saved myself 4 HP that turn if I correctly chose my target for the backstab. I didn't count the curl up right, basically. There we go. Second Deadly Poison. Okay, now we're in with a chance of making a Deadly Poison kind of deck. I can't put Wraithform in this deck. Because I don't hold it. I would have to wait a couple shuffles until I get to it. And if I have to wait a couple shuffles, I've already probably lost against this enemy. Okay. Especially because they're starting with 2 strength. And I'll play a single defender. Oh, gosh. And I definitely need to kill next turn or I am definitely dead next turn. Nice. Kunai! Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 dex. Entire game plan just changed. We now need every shiv we see. Multiple Stab versus Bane versus Crippling Cloud. Crippling Cloud gets better next floor, but it does need to be upgraded. Taking it still. Alright. I want both of my Deadly Poisons upgraded before we get into the boss fight, because that's what's going to win us this boss fight. Oof, that's... Woofa doofa, that's not good. Hachi Machi don't like that. Alright. It's okay, we got out of it scot-free. That's best I could hope for. Strike and Impatience for the draw. Oh, I'd love to be Deadly Poisoning right now. Let me tell you. Ah, well. I really would like if I could rest here, but I believe that, especially considering the Elite's next floor, I'm really going to want that poison upgraded. I'm taking Leg Sweep here, not because of its damage output, but because of the fact that it's going to give us a strong defensive card in this deck, as well as some extra weaken. Thank you, both of those Deadly Poisons, for proving their worth instantly by allowing us to transform the Guardian, where otherwise we would have just taken the damage there. See what I mean? With this much poison on the enemy, I just need to defend and wait. Wah. I'd really like to get those deadly poisons. Oh, I could have used the energy potion for that. That's a good point there. Good point, well made. You're just defending this turn. I'm actually not going to deadly poison you this turn because then you're not going to transform this turn. You have to wait until next turn before you get the opportunity to. Which actually means that I get to get way more damage on the Guardian. Cool. Enemy's still weakened. Defend. Double deadly poison. I'm not going to risk the discovery giving me a bad card there. Alright. That'll do him. Poison potion. Yeah, fair enough. After image versus tools of the trade versus unload. We take after image here. Not only is it going to provide defense while we try and play all of these shivs out, but these shivs, I say, as though we have any. But it's also going to provide us defense, which is going to help us protect against the beat of death in the Heartbreaker combat. And it has to be Sozu. I need the extra energy. I can't take Velvet Choker, and I need the extra energy, so we'll take Sozu. That's a shame. I really would have liked Philo Stone or something there. Okay. What's our best path? Oh, there's a path with only one early elite, an early shop, a couple question marks, and some nice rests. That seems like the path for me. After image should have been played first there, obviously, by the way. Sneaky Strike refunds me energy because of the way that we actually ended up playing that. Because Sneaky Strike costs 0 because it was put in my hand from the discovery, it costs 0 for us. And because it costs 0, it refunds 2 energy. So that was the benefit we were making there. Sorry, I keep cutting myself off. Awesome. See how these deadly poisons are contributing so much to our damage? It's because we have the defensiveness taken care of by kunai. Quote unquote taken care of. We are going to need some more in the way of ways to trigger the kunai. This is really bad. I had to turn the beta art on for Heel Hook. It's made by Ash, who happens to hang out in our Discord, which is really nice. I'll be taking all-out attack here, though. Hell yeah. Pretty damn good opener for us. Alright, as long as we aren't made vulnerable. Get that poison. Definitely can't take out the big fellas here. The gremlin knobs, that is. Don't even stand a chance, so. Oh, whoa. Cowardice. Right, of course. I had to double check myself there. Snecko Eye. Snecko Eye, sorry. Snecko Skull. Whenever you apply poison, apply 1 additional poison. For this deck, obviously, that is insane. I kind of want to hold on to my money for the possibility of a later shop rather than spend anything on a removal here, especially because we're thickening up the deck. Yeah, I'll just take my 100 there. Quick slash for the draw. That's unfortunate. This is the kind of hand in which I don't want to see impatience. At least I can use Survivor to discard one of them. Hey, and we did get a 0 cost in return. Nice. I was actually considering taking the Slice in the previous store because it's a 0 cost attack, so it contributes towards my ability to use kunai, but also it doesn't chunk up my hand when I'm trying to use Impatience. I'm not necessarily not sold on it, Okay, double negative, but still. Regen potion. I really wish I could have taken that. Prepared. Pre-upgraded. Because I'm not cutting cards from this deck, maybe it's okay to have a card like Prepared that is card negative. Again, it's a single card itself. It draws 2 cards and discards 2 cards. Prepared itself is a card that you had to draw and had to play. So it doesn't have an energy cost, but you still had to draw Prepared. So it's card negative overall. Now, there was recently an argument saying card advantage doesn't exist in this game. I'm not talking about card advantage. I'm talking about card positivity and card negativity. If your hand was literally all Prepareds, even though you draw back up to 5 next turn, you're not doing much that turn. You can curate the entire hand and you will end up with like 1 or 2 playable cards if you play them at the right time, rather than just drawing a hand of 5 and having 5 options. So you have more options, but you have fewer cards that you can play in a single turn that aren't just, you know, the card negative ones, which typically don't come with a severe bonus alongside them. If they do come with a severe bonus alongside them, then sure, they're card negative, but like a defend is card negative as well, right? So if it has a severe bonus, then it's just a card in that circumstance. I think I'm gonna pass. No, I'm gonna take it prepared. Just one though. Unfortunately, I am going to have to play this Malaise for basically as much as I can play it for. Yeah. So I will take 2 damage here, but that's the absolute best kind of thing that I can't... Oh, I did that in the wrong order. I could have got 1 more defense there. Triple attack before the defense. This is going to enable me to ignore most of the attacks of the Book of Stabbing, which is actually extremely powerful for us. Yeah. I used to prepare at the end of the turn there because I figured that I've already drawn into some of the most powerful cards in my deck, so the prepared is most likely going to help me start filtering out some negative cards. And also because I'm running, like... The way that I'm taking prepared now and using prepared now does not necessarily invalidate the way that I usually would ignore prepared, and that's because I am running a thicker deck. So I have more lower quality cards in the deck that I can shuffle through. Yeah. I mean, like, sure. Remove all of your strength. Works for me. And there goes the Book of Stabbing. That was a really, really good elite fight. Basically, the best I could have possibly hoped for. This is definitely adrenaline, unfortunately. Yeah. I definitely need something like a... let's get the after image in the opening hand. I'm definitely going to require something along the lines of a... Noxious Fumes, especially because of the Snecko Skull. It's just going to be particularly powerful. It's going to be a sucker punch there. Really wanted to play the extra attack that turn so that I could get the extra dex for the rest of the battle. Unfortunately, those 2 attacks at the end had to go on the back line because they weren't enough to get through the Shelled Parasite. Ooh, 31 is a lot of damage. Patience before escape plan. Wolf's Explosion. Probably burst, right? Burst the defense, keep the poison up, and then the enemy dies. Excellent. All works out in the end. Bouncing Flask is actually really good because of this Neko Skull. So this Neko Skull, whenever you apply poison, apply 1 additional poison. And this is 3 applications of poison. Upgrades to... Wow. Upgrades to 4 applications of poison. Cloak and Dagger, unfortunately, needs to be upgraded before it's actually really valuable towards the kunai. But then the thing is, if I have a bunch of upgraded Cloaks and Daggers in the deck, it's impossible to lose. I have to take it. Omamori versus the Sapphire Key. I'm taking the Sapphire Key here. I tend to just ignore a lot of curse options anyway. Give me another Cloak and Dagger at the end of this battle so I can justify what I just did. Grand Finale can't be played here, unfortunately. Alright. Thankfully, this deck has those deadly poisons. Otherwise, we just would not have enough defense. I really wanted to throw that strike against the back line, but I needed to guarantee that the front line died in the next turn. So as much as I wanted Deadly Poison to go into my new deck, so I wanted to play Deadly Poison before I played the After Image there, I had to play the After Image first so that I could generate the new deck before I started putting Dazed into it. So it was kind of a frustrating situation. But thankfully, we like immediately thereafter got another poison, sets us up for a really, really good fight. I still should have used Discovery there. It could have given me Alchemize, which wouldn't have been able to give me a potion anyway, by the way. Oops, that's my bad. This is obviously going to be an upgrade on the Blade Dance, which is now +1 dex every single time I play it, which is pretty ridiculous. We'll take the risk. Meat on the Bone is actually really good. We are already suffering from a huge health deficit. All right, I'm resting before this fight because I don't want the possibility that I just get knocked out by one giant attack that I can't remember the name of. Hyper Beam, there we go. I can remember the name of Hyper Beam. I can't believe it. Can't believe I screwed that one up. Poison application number 1. I'm going to try and not use the poison potion unless I desperately need to. Alright, I desperately need to because the Crippling Cloud applies weak second, which now means that the Bronze Automaton is going to have to take the effect of it. Yep. So I knew the one in front was going to act first, and I knew that they take highest rarity to lowest rarity. So I knew that I need to, or rather I know that I want to kill this orb as quickly as possible. So that I can get my adrenaline back. That's a lot of damage. Okay. Alright. Frontliner dies next turn. Problem is, because we're slow playing it, this Bronze Automaton is getting very, very close to, like, disaster. Top footwork's there. Okay. Now we can Impatience. Then we can Escape Plan. Every damage I can stop coming out of this orb in the backline is going to be extra damage that I get to use myself instead. 43. I'm actually defended if I just play the Cloak and Dagger and attack. Hell yeah! Maybe I need not have worried so much. Envenom, definitely. Envenom actually totally fits into this deck Both because of the Snecko Skull, but also because of the fact that we're incentivized to go for a bunch of small attacks, courtesy of the kunai. We actually perfectly defended that turn as well. I couldn't have known I was going to be able to do that, but still. So see what I mean? Every other card in my hand I desperately wanted to play, so now Prepared does nothing. It's just... It did nothing. It was a space in my hand. And I had energy, importantly, at the end of that turn left over. That's what I'm talking about when I say card negativity. Not that, like, I'm thinking down on the card or anything like that. I'm all about it. Well, not that one in particular, but you know the gist. Whew, 66, all right. This one's going to be a touch more of a problem for us. All right, Impatience. Discovery. Ooh, finisher. Hell yeah. Stack on that poison. And now the enemy is dead. We heal from the Meat on the Bone, and then heal less after boss battles means like 75% of my remaining HP gets healed. So Meat on the Bone has actually still done something for us here. Venom. Extra energy, we'll be taking the Cursed Key. Obviously, we can't take the YP statue. We have Sozu, and I'm not going to be hunting elites next floor. Thankfully, I've already got my Sapphire Key, so I can actually just not open a chest this floor if I'd prefer. And I would prefer not to open a chest this floor. Just gonna, you know, clarify every single statement in line now. We're not going to be in this fight for long enough for Noxious Fumes to actually come into play. Well, not to come into play, but to actually have an effect. Cool. Feel like that went pretty well. Yep. Goodbye, Orb Walker. Hello, Caltrop. Or Backstab. Backstab's really good. Helps me focus down targets really early. Caltrop's really good in the final battle, but... I'm taking the Backstab, because I think I'm better prepared for the heart than I am for a lot of the fights on this floor right now. Shuriken. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 strength. Yeah. Twisted Funnel at the start of each combat. Apply 4 poison to all enemies. Yep. And then probably an Infinite Blades, which is going to provide us a shiv every single turn so that we can get more activations of Kunai and Shuriken. Obviously, Riddle with Holes is like a really, really, really good damage application as a result of Shuriken. Does that mean I should take it? I actually think it does mean that. Glowing Tesseract shows us Flash of Steel, which is, good lord, just really good with the whole build we're going for. Okay. This is gonna get really interesting if I can get some more shivs in this deck. Played that wrong. Should have used the strike on the front liner rather than the shiv. Some misplays are pretty much inevitable over the course of a series like this. Unless you'd like every episode to be 2 hours long. And if you would like that, then excellent. I can make half as many videos. It's one of those triangles where you only get to choose a couple. So in program management, we would call that a triple constraint. Or a quad constraint, depending on, you know, how up-to-date your teaching information is. And usually, for project management, it is, you know, time, scope, and cost. Choose two. Second root of holes is another way of applying our damage. Let's choose two, but it's more try and maximize each of them, but understand that each of them has a cost on another. Anyway, you understand what I mean. Deflect and neutralize each would actually be really good. Dash is okay. I don't want... Oh, come on! Why did... For some reason, I was like, oh, I don't want pain. I'm going to match it with a card I already know. And then I just selected another card that I didn't know. That was really bad on my part. We need some extra draw in this deck now. And we definitely need to remove the pain as soon as it's humanly possible. Oh, that was really bad on my part. I just unnecessarily introduced the pain to my deck. I don't feel good about that at all. Well, every card I play here is actually a defense as well as a trigger of pain, so they actually kind of equal out at that point for us. Oh, I forgot that constrict happens before the enemy dies. So I just let myself take more damage there. Gosh. I got down the Exploder first because I don't know when I'm next going to have, you know, a bunch of upcoming damage. Oh, sorry, a bunch of upfront damage in order to do that. So I figured I'd best just capitalize on it while I have it. Okay. Miscounted the enemy's damage there. All right. Maybe there is something to be said for being a little slower in this run right now. I'm just really excited about the equipment that we have. I don't need to play anything else on that turn. Cool. I mean, it's not every day you get Shuriken and Kunai. It's not a pre-upgraded Caltrops, and I have a lot of other things in the deck that I really need to upgrade, so... I want to go fight this elite exclusively for the fact that I get a shop here, which is probably going to be my removal of the pain, and then after that I get a rest. So I just need to power my way through this elite. I'm going to take well-laid plans here so that I can hold a defensive card each hand, just so that I can guarantee, well, quote-unquote guarantee, but so that I can make affordances for the possibility of not getting enough defense on, like, a particularly poor turn. Okay. Thank you, Impatience. Ooh, very nice, yeah. And Riddle with Holes, by the way, is also a bunch of applications of Envenom from Snecko. I didn't mention that at the time. To be honest, I didn't think about it at the time. But in retrospect, that's a very, very good thing. If only I'd remembered. I actually don't want to draw towards my new deck, so I shouldn't have done that draw. That's bad. My new deck will have more burns in it, obviously. Anyway, enemy's already dead. We actually made it through the Nemesis fight pretty much untouched. I'm really pleased about that. Blue Candle. Unplayable curse cards can now be played. Whenever you play a curse, lose 1 HP and exhaust the card. We'll take a dodge and roll as a really good defensive card here. I could... No. Draw is my problem right now. I actually have a bunch of energy, but draw's my problem. So taking another curse in the deck it's actually, it's card negative, right? It doesn't have a value. I just play it out of my hand. Sure, I can burn it, but unless this is better than drawing me a card on a turn, and sometimes they aren't, and sometimes they just aren't relevant at all. I'm doing it. It is better. Oddly Smooth Stone. That's another pain in the deck, though. Bag of Preparation's really good. As much as I want the Noxious Fumes, Bag of Preparation so that we can get off to a good start is really good. I want Blade Dance, Envenom, and Adrenaline upgraded mainly here. See, I don't even need to play Riot out. I'm probably not going to get back to it. It's just the pains that I'm going to need to make sure that I play out. Cool. Front line it down. All right. We need very little damage on this Darkling before we've got them too. There we go. This is the run. Another Cloak and Dagger. Yeah. It's another defensive card that's also going to feed into the rest of our stuff. Speaking of a defensive card that feeds into the rest of our stuff, it now becomes a more important upgrade than any of the others. And then obviously in the next space, I'm going to upgrade Envenom. Deadly Poison. Get out. Some Venom there because I know that we're still going to be able to apply enough damage here in order to defend ourselves. Ooh. That's a hand and a half right there. Damn. Have to play the Riddle with Holes before I can Impatience, unfortunately. I think we're actually now at the point where I can probably just ignore the Transient. Like, just press E until we're done. I dig it a hell of a lot. Blade Dance. Backflip, acrobatics, those kinds of things, extremely important. If I happen to get one on sale next floor, I'd be real pleased about it. I know the... Oh, wow, the last card is not a pain? Oh, I removed the pain from my deck, of course. Goodbye, Transient. Catalyst would also obviously be good, but I actually think we've got a lot more sustain than we otherwise might have thought. Another Envenom. The problem is when you have two Envenoms, it does 2 poison whenever you hit, but the extra Envenom doesn't also get affected by Snecko Skull because it's one application of poison from both of the Envenoms. So instead, I probably want Escape Plan. And obviously, I'm going to recall the key, by the way. I just wanted to make people panic just for a moment. It is Time Eater here, but this deck is probably... Like, this deck definitely gets stepped on a little bit by the Time Eater's kind of whole deal. I leave myself with only 2 cards to play next turn. It definitely gets stepped on a little by it, but we also kind of just do a lot. So I think we might just be able to overwhelm it. Three cards next turn. That's not good. Enemy making me vulnerable there was very unkind of it. Uh-huh. When's this deck gonna take off how it needs to? You're below half HP, which means you're purging this turn. I probably can't kill you this turn, but I should play as many attacks as I possibly can. And I don't play these two. $36. So we have access to 7 as well as weaken. Sorry, 24 as well as weaken. So we have access to playing 5 cards. 5 cards means Blade Dance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. I can't get off enough attacks this turn. But I do have to play all 5 cards this turn. I think I'm dead if I do that, though. Gosh. I can't only play 2 cards next turn, otherwise I definitely die that turn. So you get more powerful. I'm going to take a little bit of damage here. And now we're screwed. Or not. Maybe I'm just hella wrong. Only get to play 1 card next turn, though. Thankfully, dodge and roll was blocked for next turn. And... yeah, definitely dead. Had to be Time Eater, yo. Had to be Time Eater. So, in retrospect, I actually straight up didn't look to see who the final boss was. I did not look. That was my big mistake there. Obviously, the inclusion of 2 pains in the deck and also not being able to play them out necessarily the first time we drew them each time because of the blue candle and the timer for the enemy there is a bit of a problem. The problem is the build that I needed to make so that I could capitalize on my relics so that I could kill the final boss also made it really difficult to get through this one. But what I could have done is rested in the second to final position instead of upgrading our other blade darts. That would have been the way to do it. I feel really bad about that one. Anyway, for the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been somehow lost with Kunai. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.